The Road Traffic Management Corporation spokesperson, Simon Zwane, joins us now from Johannesburg. Simon, good evening to you and thank you for your time. A 14% reduction in the number of people killed over this period on our roads. That's a really big number. It's a very encouraging number. I do have to ask, was the volume of cars on the road the same as in previous years?
Good afternoon, Stephen. The volume of cars on the roads was high this year. We think it did go to pre-COVID years when there was a high number of cars. But the difference this year was that people were staggering their traveling patterns. They didn't all travel at the same time. You'd know previously would have a big problem around the 14th, 15th of December when industries closed. That would see a huge number of people traveling. But this year, yes, we would have seen a peak around that date, but there would have been another peak before Christmas and another one after Christmas. Even as they came back, we saw that pattern continuing. There was a peak around the 27th as people came back. Some were coming back around the 27th, and then there were some who came back from the 2nd and the 3rd of Jan, and then there was the last group that came in the last week, the first weekend of January. So that also assisted us because it showed that people are beginning to understand what we mean when we say they must plan their trips appropriately and they must stagger their travels. And most of the traveling happened during the day, which is something that we also were encouraging. Rather than people traveling late at night and getting involved in potholes and all of that, people traveled at night when visibility was clear, and it seems they were able to avoid those potholes in which we know are mostly prevalent in municipal roads that is closer to the destinations where people were going to. So that was also helpful.
Probably the biggest thing that determines when people go on holiday and when they come back is actually two things: school holidays and what day of the week December the 16th, the big public holiday. That's really the beginning of the holiday season starts. So this year it was on a Friday, next year it'll be on a Saturday. The beginning of this year, in other words, the beginning of 2023, says the inland provinces starting their school week, their school year, a full week earlier than the coastal provinces. Do you think those things played a big role in this?
They would have played a role, Stephen, but not a big role. You know, every time when we have a long weekend in this country, we know we would have a big problem of road fatalities. And we would have seen that pattern for the first 2 long weekends. As the statement says, there was an increase. But the last long weekend, that trend was kept because of high visibility, the monitoring that was done, all of that. So that began to come down. And then the weekend of the reopening of schools, we didn't see any spike. So, yes, the closing of schools, the closing of industry has got an effect, but visible policing assists as well in ensuring that people are able to
Simon Zwane,
modify their behavior.
Simon Zwane, thank you. Spokesperson for the Road Traffic Management Corporation. Really appreciate the time.